In this video, I am going to show you how to create some virtual keyboard controls using Scratch Junior. This is a process that would be easier using Scratch on the web. However, we can simulate what it would be like to use keyboard controls on the iPad. So I'm going to click Home, and then I'm going to click into my blank project here. In Scratch on the web, we could use a command to move Scratchcat around. Basically, when a button is pressed, then move in a direction. Since we can't program a button to do that in Scratch Junior, we have to use what's called a broadcast message. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a up arrow in my sprite menu. So I'm going to do that by clicking the blank one and then clicking the paintbrush. You see I've already done that. I put a circle around it because I thought it looks cooler. Not necessarily that you have to, but it'll help you identify that that arrow is what's supposed to be pressed. And I'm going to just move it over here. So when this arrow is pressed, I want it to send a broadcast message. So I'm going to do that by selecting the when the character is tapped, yellow button. And then we have these two buttons at the end that say send and receive messages. So the orange message, or the first one with the open letter, is to start when I get that message. And the second one is send a message. So when the button is clicked, I'm going to send an orange message. So that's going to be the code I will put in the arrow. Then I'll go back to my cat character, and we want, when I get an orange message, then I am going to move up one space. So now if I tap the up arrow, it should send a message that's orange, and then the cat should move up one space. So I'm going to try it out. Hey, it worked. Okay, so I'll walk through the process one more time. So I'm going to go to the sprite blue plus sign, which is on the left side under the Scratch Junior home menu. Click the plus sign. I'm going to click the blank sprite area, and then click the paintbrush to make a new sprite. I like using a thick line, so I'll choose on the left the bottom one. And I was using red before, so I'll just do that again. And I drew a little circle, and we'll go to the right this time. So there's my arrow. Click the blue check mark, and there is my other sprite for direction. Now you can see they're a little big, so getting all four arrows on there is going to be a little challenge, but that's okay. Okay, so I need to go back into my event menu. And since the up arrow is sending a message that's orange, I have to send a different color on this one. So the right arrow, when I tap the right arrow, it's going to send a message, but this time I want the message to be red. Okay, it's going to send a red message. So I'll go back to my cat, move this over so we can see it. So I'll drag out the event of receiving a message. I'm going to change this one to red because we want it to get that red message. And when it gets the red message, we want it to move to the right. So I can test that out by tapping the red arrow. Hey, it works. So you would continue to do this with the down arrow and the left arrow. Hopefully that helps. As always, I'm Coach Rachel, and you can feel free to contact me if you have any more questions.